Okay, everybody. I think Sal, you're on, aren't you, buddy? I made you co-host. Let me hear that voice.
All right. How does that sound?
There we are. How are you? Thanks for jumping on.
Doing good.
We got some of the top guys in the world on this call, and gals, of course, and we're just super excited for what we're about to show them. You know, people have been jumping on. They've watched some of the trainings, but I thought it would be good to get a Q&A going here early before we launch, which is I'm going to let you talk about that. But everybody's kind of tired of sending their money to companies and hoping that they can turn their website on the next morning, and they haven't stole their money prior to them, getting at least their principal out. I mean, we've been talked to and had videos thrown at us from some of the best con artists in the world. I'm sure all of you know what I'm talking about. So very believable, but they're professional scammers. So what we've been looking for with our team for, quite a while here, and just all of a sudden we connected and here it is. Something that's real. It might take a little bit of effort, but the peace of mind knowing that you're not going to have somebody run off with your money is worth a little bit of work. So I'm going to turn it over to you. You can go ahead and share your screen, and we'll just kind of go for it from here, and then we'll ask some questions and take some questions at the end. So thanks, buddy, for getting on.
Yeah, my pleasure. And Gary, it's been a super pleasure working with you. I mean, gosh, it's only been maybe a week and a half here, but you're off to the races. So there's a really strong echo and feedback. I don't know if anyone else can hear that, but I could hear myself. Okay. That and then it just went away there. But for those of you that know the value of being involved in something early, I assume most of you on the call understand the potential value of that. This is something that we're pre-launching, meaning it's not even available yet for purchase. We opened up our calls because now everything's done and we are ready to launch it. But, if you're someone like Gary, where you're reaching out and making connections and sharing the word ahead of the rest of the world right now, there's just monumental advantages to catching a wave in business really within this week and next week. I would say this week and next week. If you're a person who likes to network and you like to be rewarded for that, then what you do in the next 2 weeks can carry you for several years to come, really. And you've probably heard that before. I've heard it before. I've been in networking for 19 years. I'm 37 years old. I've been in network marketing since I was 18. And I would say that network marketing it can be a really tough go. It's a tough industry. It's hard to find a gym. It's hard to find something that's really good that you could rely on. I think the biggest value of network marketing is who you become in the process of joining companies and building sales teams and trying out different products. But I can say if you do find something that's reliable and that's going to have a lot of momentum behind it, and you're there at the right time with the right team, then it could change your life forever. I'm also a recipient of that. I've had a couple opportunities in my network marketing career that, just individually set me up for the rest of my life. And so, I'm grateful to be in this industry. As far as our product, this has been a really long time coming. What we're doing right now is something that if you would have told me 2 years ago that this is where we'd be at and this is what we'd be doing, I wouldn't have believed you. What I mean by that is we're going to talk about trading, and I've been trading for 8 years, and I trade with a group of people that are good friends of mine. We've been trading for several years together. In fact, I think most of our group right now, we've been trading for about 3 years, 3.5 years, pretty much every single day together. And I'm a person who likes to make really good money, and I like to get big results. That's just my personality type. Some people are reserved and conservative, and some people have a larger risk appetite. That's totally me. I'm aggressive. And whenever I get involved in something, I always try to push the limits a little bit and see what's really possible if we stretch the boundaries here. So when it came to trading, I've been doing it 8 years. I've been full-time now for a few years. I'd have some days in trading where I'd make 10% on my money, 20% on my money, that's crazy, right? If you understand financial growth, I mean, that's pretty ridiculous, right? That means on $1,000 account, imagine in one day making $200 in interest on that, right? I mean, that's like, how's that even possible? So I would do that sometimes, but then I would mess it up and then I would lose it. And it was real volatile, it was real up and down. And I would tell people around me, I said, there's got to be a way to make these huge gains consistently. The technology's there, right? The reason I believed in the possibility of making huge gains every single day is because I've been watching the advancement of trading technology and indicators and tools that you can use to analyze the financial markets. I've been watching that every day for a couple of years, and it's really advanced now. It's not where it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago. That means the possibilities of what you can do are so much greater than where it was, 5 years ago and 10 years ago. Now, when I would tell people around me that, hey, I think you can make 5, 10%, 20% a day on your money, everyone would say, no, there's no way. That's not sustainable. That's reckless. You're going to crash your account. That's irresponsible. Right. And, I believe in wisdom. You don't want to be foolish. You don't want to be reckless when it comes to money. I respect money. At the same time, we get stuck in these traditions where we think the way things have always been is the way things always will be. And that's just not the case, right? We could break paradigms. We can go to new levels. We could prove new things are possible, right? Like the 4-minute mile that just came to mind, right? Like no one thought you could run a mile in 4 minutes. They're like, that's humanly impossible until someone did it. Someone ran a mile in under 4 minutes. And then what happened after that? Then a bunch of people started doing it. It took decades and decades for someone to prove that it was possible against all the naysayers saying it's not possible. And then when someone actually did it, what did that do? That inspired the belief in those around them to where they all were able to do it also, right? And that's what's happening here with trading. So I've been very privileged to be in a position throughout my career where I've been appointed in professional roles to collect data on different trading strategies, right? So that means I was being paid to test different trading strategies. So that's a unique advantage. That's, I was blessed to be in that role. And I spent a couple of years in that role to really see, what works and what doesn't work. And I started trading like a madman. I literally, in my first 2 years of full-time trading, I took over 70,000 trades, which, any normal trader would say that's way too excessive. And normal people don't trade like that. But I said, the more I can trade, and once you get into a trade, your emotions start to go up. You become really alert of what's happening in the market. It's real clarifying, get yourself into a trade. I wanted to really see the movement of financial markets and how that impacted my subconscious mind and allow my mind to really learn the rhythm of the market. And I knew if I could take what would take someone 20 years and condense that into 2 years, then I would be leaps and bounds ahead of the competition. And that's what I did. That's why I took 70,000 trades. And all that means is that I tried every indicator. I traded every single financial market out there, tons of ups, tons of downs. And I'm going to share a little bit of that story. But what it led to was what we have today. Okay, what do we have today? Here's what we have. We have a system where now we can take someone who's never traded before, right? So if you're on here and you're like, I don't know how to trade, good, that's fine, no problem. We have a system now where we could take someone who's never traded before and get them on a call with us for 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day and help people achieve 5%, 10%, and 20% gains on their account in 5 or 10 minutes. And that sounds unbelievable. It sounds like how's that even possible, right? And there's no guarantees. It doesn't mean like you're gonna do that. All I can say is that we've been doing it for 5.5 months. We took a group of people with what we learned ourselves and we showed it to them. These were not traders. And it was crazy what started happening to people's accounts. These are real accounts I can show you. These are real people. I can introduce you to them. For example, we have a 20-year-old. never traded in his life. He didn't know anything about trading or candles or MT4s or anything. We showed him our system, 5 minutes a day, right? 5 minutes a day with no experience. He started with $200. It's been less than 90 days and his account is over $2,100. So he's 10x'd his money in less than 90 days, right? Over 100% growth. We've had other people that had a little more experience in trading, but once they applied our strategy, they started doing 50 to 100% a week on their money. Again, it sounds crazy, but here's the coolest part. The coolest part is that this strategy is you keeping your money inside your account. That means you don't send your money off to someone else. That means it's not someone else having control over your money and you hoping that it works out and that your money grows and that you'll be able to get paid, right? Because there's a lot of things out there that, you know, they say, oh, we make 1% a day, 2%, 3% a day, you know, whatever. Our results blow that away. But there's a lot of other things out there that say things like that, but you got to send your money to someone else. It's illegal. It's not even a compliant business model. And then you dream, right? You think, oh man, if I just let this go for like 3 months, man, if this thing could just last for like 6 months, man, my $3,000 will turn into 10 grand. Oh, that'd be incredible. And they don't last, right? And they blow up in your face. And then it's just real discouraging. You know, it's like you become hopeless. So what we realized is, wow, we're actually helping people get better results than what they hoped to get with these other programs. But the money stays in your account. You don't ever send it out, right? That means if you want to pull all your money out today, pull it all out, right? You want to put more money in, pull it out, whatever. I mean, it's your broker account. It's your private account. You could use any MT4 broker account you want. It's like having another bank account, right? Which is super cool. So you have the protection of your money staying in your account, but then you have the possibility of achieving results that are far beyond anything that's out there. I mean, anything. If any of you guys, you could let me know in the chat, or if you just, wave if you're on camera. If you guys know about cryptocurrency, anyone in here know about cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and stuff, right? Cool. So I know a lot about crypto. I've been in cryptocurrency trading since 2014. And again, just being an open-minded person with a big risk appetite, I was one of the first adopters of cryptocurrency. I tried anything and everything. Because of that, though, I got lucky. I bought Bitcoin at $200. I bought Ethereum at $9. I bought Cardano, which is called ADA. I bought that at 4 cents. And that was just because I had an open mind, right? And those of you that know about crypto and where those coins are at today, even with the bear market that's happening, I mean, I was in way earlier than that, right? I experienced 1,000, 5,000, 10,000% growth on some of the purchases I made. I know what it's like to be in a bull run with the crypto market, and that attracts so many people, right? So many people, they want to find like the perfect coin project at the right time and get lucky. That's all it is. It's luck. I'll say this, and that's someone, I've been lucky. I've gotten lucky. What we're doing here, it's not luck. That's what's so crazy. This is better than a crypto bull run. This is better than finding the most amazing coin project on day number 1 and being a part of that growth. It's better than that. And it's not luck. It's a system that we do every single day. And for those of you that are on here, if any of you have checked out our morning calls, then you'll see people every single day. Like today, we had a bunch of people, they made 5%, 7%. We had one guy make 16%. We had a lady make 30%. Most of those were on live accounts, right? Can you imagine making 30% in 5 minutes on your account? That means, if you have, let's say $1,000, that was a $300 gain. If you had 10 grand, that'd be a $3,000 gain. We had a guy this week, he made 9 grand on his live account in like 2.5 minutes, right? So I've never seen anything like it. I'm going to show you exactly what we're doing, how we're doing it, what the plan is here. But here's the coolest part is that it took me 8 years to figure this out. And it was 8 years of really intense work. And, this is something that my friends and I, we can just go off and do it by ourselves, right? Like I don't need to do Zooms and show people. I mean, I do this every day, with or without people knowing about it. I could do this from the comfort of my home, but I know that this would make a tremendous impact out there if we open the door and if we took all of our research and just handed it to you and said, here you go. You want to get results like me? Here you go. You don't have to spend 8 years and 70,000 trades and all the ups and downs to get there. So we figured out, I'm going to share my screen here and I'll show you what this looks like. Just wanted to give you a little bit of background. Here we go. Let's see here. I have a whole bunch of presentations here. Let me pull up the one that shows you what I'm talking about here. Perfect. Can you guys just confirm for me in the chat that you can see the screen that says financial learning breakthrough in less than 8 minutes?
Good to go.
Thanks. So the reason we say 8 minutes is because after like 4 months, we look back and our calls are done in about an average of 8 minutes. Sometimes they're like 4 minutes. Sometimes they go 10, 11 minutes of trading, but on average, it's about 8 minutes, right? So we've just been calling this the 8-minute trader. We tell people, hey, how would you like to learn how to have a breakthrough in 8 minutes? So number one, disclaimer, sorry for the typo there. I actually just put these together for this presentation here, but this will be a call that's only available to active customers once we launch. Right now we have this open and free for anybody. Like, we're just totally transparent. We're like, hey, everyone can jump on for free and take a good look at what we're doing. See it with your own eyes. This isn't a buy before you try. This is a try before you buy, right? Everyone gets on the call at their own discretion, right? We don't coerce anyone to get on. If people choose to take action on the calls, right, they're doing so at their own discretion, understanding the risk. All of our discussions are delivered to everyone uniformly, right? Like, we don't give financial advice to an individual. It's up to you to design your own financial plan using our strategies. And just remember that there is a lot of risk with what we do. We went through the ringer on the risk, right? I've lost a lot of money through the years of trading, trying to figure this stuff out. And so if you don't have a good strategy, then, you're in a very risky situation. And just remember, it's imperative to never trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Now we have a video here. I'm just going to skip through that because the video is in the chat that Gary set up. It's just a 1-minute video that shows you some examples of trades here. But I'm going to skip through a lot of this because I covered it in my intro. I was introduced to trading 8 years ago, went full-time 3 years ago. I was blessed to lead dozens of experienced beta groups and testing all the latest trading technology. Just so you know what that means, because sometimes we hear a lot of stuff or we're already distracted mentally, right? There's always so much on our minds. Some of these things can just go in one ear and out the other. But I want you, if you're serious about your money and if you're serious about your future, like, do you really want to get wealthy? Is that important to you? I want you to pay attention, okay, with what we're sharing here. Because these are not just words on screens, right? This is a life. This is a person's life of really explaining what it took to get to this point and why this is working. So my smallest beta group was 11 people. My largest one was 46. And I led dozens of them, hundreds of people. Most of them were experienced traders. In fact, most of them had more experience at the time than me. And some of them were new. And I had developers and programmers from all around the world that I interviewed, from Canada, US, Asia, Europe, Africa, Australia, South America, all over the world. I interviewed all the programmers and developers out there to see, where's technology at? And is there any crazy system that's dependable? And then we took the best ones from all of those interviews and we started a few dozen beta groups to test each and every one and document the results of the trades every single day. And then ask, how hard is it for people to do? Right. So we really did our work to figure out what was out there and to learn what works and what doesn't work. Obviously, most things don't work. Here's what I've learned is that there's a lot of ways to make money online, but trading is one of those ways. And we're at a very special time because what I'm going to show you today has never been seen in the history of our world. It's never been seen before. And it's going to be something that almost anyone can do. And this is a rare occurrence, right? I know that in a year or two from now, a lot of people are going to know about this. And a lot of people, this will become just a commonly known strategy. But again, you talk about the advantage of time. Like, what if you were one of the first people to find out about this, right? Now, to get here, I put on the screen here, testing every strategy available. If you're a trader, then you know there's a lot of tools out there. And I tried every single tool that I've ever heard of. And not just tried, not just loaded it onto my chart for a couple minutes. I'm talking about days and days of taking dozens and dozens and dozens of trades using these systems. And that's necessary, right? Like, how do you find the best unless you check everything else out? And it's a funny and ugly process because I'm a promoter, right? If anything is good for me, I'm going to tell someone else about it. You know, anything. It could be vitamins. Like, I take liquid vitamins. I think I found the best vitamins in the world. I tell everyone, I'm like, hey, check out these vitamins, right? If I really believe something's going to help you, I'm going to share it with the people around me. And with trading, you know, it got to a point where like my wife and some of my close friends were like, Sal, you change your strategy every couple weeks. And you always get so excited about the new trading strategy that you're going to try to master and figure out on how to, you know, get super wealthy trading. It's like, it just seems never ending, right? So you don't have to tell us about it every single time. Just go, keep doing what you're doing. And if you find something that's going to consistently work, then tell us about it. You know, it's kind of funny. It's kind of ugly, but like that's the only way that you can discover what we discovered. Right. And then we started looking at the differences between manual trading and automatic trading. First off, automatic trading is not legal in the United States if it's being sold to someone by a person who's not a CTA or licensed with their securities license. So you have to worry about legalities and compliance. Now, automatic trading could be cool if you find a way to be involved with automatic trading because you're not the one trading, right? So it frees up your time. There's not a lot of emotions involved in it. But here's the problem. If you're working with a real trading system, then there's practically no automatic trading system in the world that delivers big results that doesn't get hit really hard. And I know that because I've tested them all. Okay. So what that means is like I've used automatic trading systems where my money's growing for like 2 or 3 months. And then boom, I lose like 70% of my account. And it's like, that wasn't even worth it. Right. Like not only did I lose all my profit, but now I'm lower than where I started. And I went through that over and over and over again. And then not knowing what to do. Like I was at that time, I wasn't a full-time trader. And so I wasn't experienced enough to know how to work with that automatic system and make it do what I wanted it to do based on market conditions. So that's a huge disadvantage, right? You have the advantage of, oh, this is passive, but you have the disadvantage that when crap hits the fan, you don't know what to do. And then you're going to look back and say, well, that wasn't worth it. Now, manual trading, I knew a lot of manual traders, like people who knew how to actually, draw up the charts and analyze the markets and stuff. They were making 20, 30, 40% a month. The good traders that I knew consistently, that's amazing. 20, 30, 40% a month. That's life-changing income. But it was so hard to learn. I learned it, but it took me years, and most people will never learn it, period. Like 99% of people in the world, they will never learn how to truly manually trade through technical and fundamental analysis. It's like you gotta be passionate about looking at a calculator all day, right? It's like someone who gets a kick out of like reading the encyclopedia. How many people in the world today get all excited about reading the encyclopedia? That's about how many people will become successful learning how to manually trade. So the results are amazing, but almost no one can learn it. On the other hand, anyone could do automatic trading, but it almost never works, right? So we were looking at all these pros and cons of systems, and here's what I learned. These are the two big lessons. Number one, I learned that to become wealthy in trading, I'm not talking about making a few hundred extra bucks, guys. I'm talking about making millions of dollars, right? Like I'm not going to do something unless I can make millions of dollars doing it. To become wealthy in trading, you need three things. You need an effective and conservative strategy. That's number one. That's the hardest part. Finding something that actually works. Number two, you need consistent application. That means if you have something that works, it's not going to change your life if you only do it once a week. You got to do it all the time so that it really can grow and compound. And then number three, you need scalability. What that means is that you start with small risk to prove that it's a mathematically sound system that can grow. And then once you've proven that, now you could scale up and you could take bigger risk, bigger trades, put in more money, and then scale it up to the moon. Here's what I did. I combined all the advantages of everything I learned throughout my whole journey of trading, and I put it into one simple strategy that anyone can use to truly focus and consistently compound their accounts over time. It's all about compounding. And truthfully, I almost never meet people who really understand the power of compounding, right? Of growing your account through compound interest. So here's our system. This is what it looks like. If you're looking at the screen, it's an MT4 chart, right? If you don't know what that means, it doesn't matter. It's just something you download. It's just an app that you download. And what we look at primarily in the mornings is we look at something called the US 30. Now, if you have any trading experience, maybe you've heard of that. It's also called the Dow Jones Industrial Average. What that is, it's like the top 30 stocks in the United States that are combined into one value that goes up and down based on the performance of those stocks. Now, this is not stock trading, okay? It's what we call the futures market on the US 30, meaning what we're doing is we're placing trades. We're essentially speculating or placing bets on where we believe the value of these 30 total stocks are going to go. And a lot of people are afraid to trade with this chart. I know a lot of people that are like, oh man, I don't touch that. That thing is way too crazy. It's too squirrely. It's scary. It's too volatile, right? I know people, they've given this a whole bunch of bad nicknames throughout the years. And so here's what I learned, right? If you want to be successful, what do? Do the opposite of everyone else. That's like your starting point. What is everyone else doing? Everyone was saying, stay away from this chart. Well, everyone else isn't making the kind of money I want to make. So what did I do? I did the opposite. I went and said, I'm going to just focus on the US 30, the craziest, most volatile instrument in the world. That's what I'm going to focus on. And then there's a time of day, which again, 99% of the people who do trade this will tell you, I trade it, but not during that time of day because it's too unpredictable. And that's when it opens for the day at 9:30 in the morning Eastern. The moves are insane. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you have to see it. What happens to the price? It just like explodes up or just crashes down in 10 seconds. That's what happens, right? And most people say, yeah, I would never try to trade during that time because if it goes against you, it could destroy your account. Why would you take that kind of risk? So what did I do? I got in and I started doing it every day at that time. And what do we have now? We have a tiger by the tail. So my first 122 days of trading the US 30 market open, I didn't take a single loss. I saw thousands upon thousands of percent of gain, not thousands of dollars, thousands of percent, right? It was greater than dollars. And I realized we have something here. And this was with my trade team. We were all crushing it. And I said, guys, we cracked it. I think we figured something out. So I want you to see how simple the system is. We have lines running across the screen. Now you're just watching this. And all you have to know is that there's some green lines and red lines. That's it, right? Can you tell the difference between green and red? Well, if you can, then you can participate with this, right? So the two green lines that are going across the screen, one is solid and one is dashed. We call that a buy zone. Think about that, right? A buy zone. And then the two red lines, one is solid, one is dashed. We call that a sell zone. So there's green is buy and red is sell. Now, after the market opens, if we see a green candle pierce through the buy zone, we look to take a buy trade. If we see a red candle pierce down below the sell zone, we look to take a sell trade, right? How easy is that? If a green candle goes through the green box, we look to take a buy. If a red candle goes down through the red box, we take a sell. And for those of you that don't know about this, what's so cool about what we do is that we don't care what the market's doing. We make money if the market's going up, and we make money if the market is going down. If the market's going down, no problem. That means we'll place a trade saying we believe it's going to go down. And if it goes down, we make money. We win the trade because that was our speculation. That was our assertion. saying we believe it's going to go down. And there's other people betting against us saying, no, we think it's going to go up. Well, if we win because it went down, then we win all the money. So what's so cool is you can make money during any market condition. And now where we really make money is on volatility. So when I talk about timing, look what's happening to the stock market right now. If you don't know, the stock market right now is having some trouble. Look at the crypto market. Oh, man, having some trouble. Real estate has been on a crazy skyrocket for like 14 years. It's starting to cool off and prices are starting to come down. The markets are starting to become uneasy and volatile. And guess what? This strategy here, that's when we make the most amount of money. The more volatile something is, the more money we're going to make. So when all these people are worried about their portfolios and their crypto accounts and the values of their homes and their businesses, hey, we're on the right side of the economy where we actually start making even more money. We make money when the market's doing good. We make even more money when the market's doing bad. Now, here's the part where most people just don't get it. Check this out. I'm not going to go through a slow example of this. I like to walk people through this so that it really hits you, but we don't have time for that today. So I'm just going to show it to you. So we go for a few percent a day. That's the goal of these daily calls. Like I said, you're going to get on like a 10-minute call. And then the goal is within those 10 minutes to make a few percent gain on your account, right? And remember, this is you making decisions, you pushing buttons, and your money stays in your control, right? And we've made it super simple. You just push one button and you can participate with us. Now we have losing days, right? We have losing days. And that's something that I learned as a trader, that number one, it's impossible to not have losses because it's real, right? You're totally in a scam if something just goes up. That's impossible. Nothing in the world just goes up, right? We have losses. But what I learned is that our system has more winning days than losing days. So even when we lose, that's one more step of progress forward. We have to get through those losses to get to the next winning day, right? Just like in network marketing, you got to get through all the no's to get to the next yes. And once you understand ratios, hey, as long as you're good at what you do, then it's no problem. And that's where we're at. So we have losses kind of regularly, and yet we've never had a losing week, right? We've never had a losing week. And most of our beta testers, they're like doubling their accounts every month. So this is something that people don't understand, but you could do the math yourself. So let's say someone started with $2,500, and if they just won 3% a day, but lost every fourth day. So you win 3, lose 1, win 3, lose 1. That means every week you're going to have like 1 day or 2 days where you lose and 3 days of win. That's going to be an average of 9% per week is what that ends up being. Now, the reason I put that as an example is because if you get on our calls, you'll see that most people who participate in our calls, they do better than this. In fact, today was our 7th consecutive day with no losses at all. And most of every single day, most of the gains were bigger than 3%. So what I tried doing is I want to show you an example of something that's conservative with our system, right? For someone else, maybe this is extreme, but in our world, this is like the bottom, right? This is the baseline conservative here. So look at what happens. $2,500. If you win 3 days, lose 1 day, win 3 days, lose 1 day. That's an average of 9% a week. In 1 year, the $2,500 would grow to over $130,000. That's the power of compounding that most people just don't get it. Like if you were to go ask one of your friends, hey, if you had $2,500 and you made 3% a day, how much would that turn into in a year? Just go ask any adult who knows math, and they'll say, oh, I don't know what, $3,000, $5,000, $8,000. They have no idea, right? That the power of compounding is exponential multiplication. And if you just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, because what's 3% of $2,500? $75, right? So day number 1, you only made $75. Hey, that's still pretty good, right? For 10 minutes of work. But what's 3% of $130,000? Right? That's like 3% of $130,000. That'd be 3,000. Like, what is it? $3,900? Somewhere around there. I don't know. I'd have to bring out my calculator to get the exact 130,052 with 17 cents. But the point is that in trading, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what your balance is. We work on percentages. So that means someone who makes 3% on a grand, which is $30, that same person can push the exact same button at the same time with the same risk management structure and get the exact same 3%. But on 100 grand, that's 3 grand, right? So when I tell you someone yesterday made $9,000 on their account in 2 minutes, they did the exact same thing as the next guy who made $900 on their account in 2 minutes. The difference is they had different balances of money, but they both did the exact same action. So if this is possible, why don't people save up that much money? Like, how many people do you know that have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their bank? Number one, people don't understand the power of compounding. They just don't understand that, even if it feels slow in your first month, if you just keep doing it, what ends up happening to those numbers? And so they don't have the vision. And number two, they don't have a system. Like, what do you know that can actually get you 3% a day? Right? Not many things out there. A lot of people try to do it, but they're just not compliant, or they're not sustainable. And that's what we realized. We're like, wow, this is crazy, because it's been very sustainable and it's very compliant legally. Why? Because we don't give financial advice. We don't trade for you. This isn't passive. This isn't auto trading. This is empowering people to push the button themselves. And it's so simple that we have people doing it in their very first day. So I'm going to skip through this here. What do we provide? A daily live experience. We provide proper trading risk and a scalability plan. We provide accountability with our community. We're all doing the same thing every day. We all get on the call and we hit it. Boom, 3%, 5%, 7%, 10% every day. Boom, boom, boom. We just finished our first full 7-day stretch of 7 actual business days of trading together. And a lot of the people, they're up now 20, 30, 40% on their accounts because they've been doing it every single day. Right. And it's just, it's great, because even if they lost tomorrow, if they lost 3%, well, if they're up 40% and they lose 3%, and they're still up 37%, right? Now they have like a cushion to work with. And we also teach people how to do really good, consistent goal setting. So these are some of the results. These are all real accounts. 2 of them are demo. 2 of them are live. That means 2 of them are just like practice accounts, because everyone could start with a practice account. And then 2 of them are real money. That means that they made an actual deposit into their broker account, and they could pull that money out right to their bank account. So I know who all these people are, but you can see the account on the left started with 10 grand, and right there it's at 10,971. I think that was in like a week. It made 9%. This other one, you can see this is a guy never traded before. He just had his first baby. He can't even tell you anything, remotely sophisticated about trading. But this was one of his results for the day, $480. He works at Cheesecake Factory as a server. And for him to be able to do that in 10 minutes, that's like an entire week's paycheck for someone who's a server at a restaurant, right? And then these are live accounts. So this third picture here, this is a real money account. This is a buddy of mine who was not a trader, but he learned the system. He has a little bit more experience. Like, before we got heavy into this strategy here, he did 114% in 1 week. So he deposited $2,925. He profited $3,358. His balance is at $6,283.56. Right, it was 114%. And then this last account here, this was a live account. You can see the person started with $2,500, and in 5 days, the account was over $4,000. Right. So we have hundreds and hundreds of these. And some of you that have been on the calls, you probably already have some of your own success stories. What's cool is that it's not just, the experts doing it. It's everybody. Everybody's doing it. So it's something the world's never seen before. But what's the company? Who's behind all this? Is this thing going to last? Right. So 19 months ago, I was contacted by this company. Their name is Longevity. And I already knew Longevity. I knew the owners. I met the owners of Longevity about 10 years ago. the Wallach family, Steve and Michelle Wallach with his father, Joel Wallach. This is a 25-year-old publicly traded company. They've already done billions of dollars in sales. They have over 1 million customers worldwide. They wanted to go into financial trading, but they're a very cautious company. And that's why they've lasted 25 years, right? A lot of people talk about the CEO, Steve. They'll say, yeah, Steve is a man who measures 12 times and cuts once, right? He's very cautious. He's very patient. He's very wise. They were interested in financial trading because they see what's happening right now with technology and what it can do for someone's life to make extra money. It's really cool. It's like amazing. It's like the future of making money. But there were risks. It's like, okay, can we do this compliantly and legally and not damage our 25-year history of business? And after about 6 months of them interviewing myself, my team, doing their due diligence on me, going back and forth on showing them what we provide and what we built, they said, this is really exciting and we're going to move forward. And that's where we're at. So in the next week or two, we're launching this system live. It took us 19 months to get here. And it's on a 25-year-old company's platform. That means it's all Youngevity. And so what I did is I gave Youngevity an exclusive licensing agreement to my strategies, because I think if there's any company in the world that deserves to market this and offer this to the world, it's Youngevity. The owners are humble, incredible people that are loyal. They operate with integrity. Hey, that's the only way you can last 25 years in business and have people still believe in you, right? So that's going to be, I think, really good news for people, because it's a credible company that's stable. It's not a startup. It's not like, oh, here we go, we're going to go through pre-launch and go through all these growing pains. They've been through all that, right? Comp plan works. They pay on time. The back office works, right? All the legal infrastructures in place. They're just a super great company, right? So you get the best of both worlds. You get a revolutionary new trading strategy that breaks the paradigms of what's possible, but on a super credible platform with Youngevity. So this is all about creating your story. That's why we're doing this, right? We're not doing it. I mean, I could do this by myself, but I'd love to see some people create their story, and it's already happening. This is something you can start capitalizing today. Get on the call starting tomorrow for free, right? The next step will then be, once you learn the system, to 2x and 3x your results. Now, so what we're launching here is 2 different strategies. We have one that's a morning call, but guess what? We know that not everyone can get on that morning call. It's at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. That's not conducive to everyone's schedule. And also another thing is, even if you do get on those calls, what we realized was people get off so excited. And, we had a lot of people, they would make 5%, 10% in the morning, and then they would keep trading, and then they'd mess themselves up, right? Because they wanted to keep trading, but they didn't have any professional coaches there to provide leadership. And so we knew that we had to create another product with our trading strategy that will help them have better information for the rest of the day. And we developed, it's just insane. We developed this alert system where now you can get on the morning call, do your thing in 10, 15 minutes. And then for the rest of the day, you could trade on your own if you want to, if you have the time, if you feel like you still need more growth than that. And the system now just shows you buy and sell. And that's it, right? And you could enter into these trade ideas at your own discretion. So it just shows you, based on some sophisticated algorithms that we built, based on our trading strategy that's worked for us for many, many years to compound our accounts. We just put all of that into this alert system, and it just shows people, and it notifies them right to their phone and right to their laptop on when they could push buy or when they could push sell. And that's it. There's almost no training involved in being able to use that. And what we're seeing is, with that system, people are 2, 3, 4xing what they're doing in the morning. So now we have people that, let's say they'll get 5% gain in the morning, and then they'll use the alert system throughout the day. Let's say they add on another 20 minutes, 30 minutes throughout the day at different times, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. They get these alerts, they check it out, they get into some trades when they have time, and they're 2, 3, 4xing what they did in the morning. That means they're getting another 5, 10, 20% throughout the day. We have some people that are doing 40%, 60%. We've had people do 80% in a day. We've seen a guy double his account in one day, right? These are live accounts. And, again, it sounds weird for me even saying these things out loud, because through the process of growing as a trader, I learned about setting good expectations and not being extreme and stuff. Like, you want to under promise and over deliver. At the same time in life, like, you can't be a denier of truth. Like, what else should I say if that's what I'm seeing happen every single day of my life? Right? Like, do I lie and tone it down? Or do I say, hey, this is what's happening? Right. So I learned, I said, all right, I'm not going to be a denier of truth. So I'm going to stop this share right there. That's the full story. And, we're at a point now. It's just, for me, it feels so amazing to do these calls and to see people's results, people that never thought they could do it, that are doing it with ease, and the hope that people are getting, the possibilities, people dreaming again, and the financial impact that people are having. Like, there was a gal on Monday who, she's been struggling financially for a long time, and she's tried trading before a little bit. She wasn't any kind of professional trader, but she tried it a little bit, lost money in the past. It wasn't her thing. But she's been going through a really hard financial time, and she got onto some of our calls and just was an observer and said, wow, this seems really simple. I think I could push the button. And then she started practicing on a demo account, and she grew her account 30% in a week and a half, blew her mind. She went live. And on Monday was her first live day where she traded with real money. She made $300 in like 6 minutes. Now, she works at a job where her daily pay is like $140 at her job, right? And that's before taxes. So for her to, make $300 in 6 minutes, it changes your life. It really does. And, I just think, you guys deserve it. I deserve it. And there's no reason anymore to trust companies with your money. There's no reason to buy into false hopes and take huge risks with your money and time, right? Like, your hard-earned money. This is finally, like, we're bringing you technology where now you have the power, right? You download this onto your computer. You'll have the screen set up. You'll be able to get in and out of a trade by just clicking a button. You're going to have a professional coach who's been trading for 21 years. Right now, our main coach, Coach Maurice, that's one of my best friends in life. I have him as a coach and facilitator in the morning calls, 21 years of experience, where he shows you what he does on the market open call and what trades he chooses to take. And you get to just watch and observe. And if you choose to follow along, then that's on you. But if you do follow along, then you're going to get the same results as him, even if you're brand new. And that means if he wins, well, then you can win. If he loses, you can lose, right? But, after 21 years, the dude is very consistent. Our group now, as of today, we're at 163 days today, 163 days of, we've been doing it every single day. Like, that's, those are business days of actual trading. We have a total of 8 losses, right? 8 losing days in 163 days. So do we have the system down? Is this something that's pretty consistent? Yeah, I'd say so, right? We don't know what the future holds. That's the biggest thing, is like making sure we don't ever try to guarantee the future and tell people, yeah, you're gonna double your money next month. We don't know that, right? A bomb could hit us and we all die today. We don't know anything about the future. We want to be compliant. All we can do is talk about what people have done and remind people of the risks getting involved in financial trading. There's always a risk. The last part to this, again, those of you that are networkers, this is a product that can make someone wealth. Okay. It's the product. Like, if you don't ever build a team or sell anything, just use the product and you could crush it. And that's what people are doing, right? They're making thousands of dollars just trading every month. If you do decide to share this with someone, man, the comp plan is insane. We're going to be doing trainings on it. My direct sponsor, the gentleman that I'm aligned with, his name is Dr. Luis Ariaza. He's earned over $24 million in the last 8 years. And guess what? That was with Longevity's products, their wellness products, which is the space they've been in primarily for the last 25 years. And the comp plan for the trading products is way beefed up, it's heavy. I mean, they pay like 85% upfront cash bonuses, and then a huge coded bonus residual income plan. That is just like, whoa, oh my gosh, they could do that because it's a digital product, right? So they don't have to like physically manufacture products, store the products, fulfill the products through shipping and delivering and acquiring licensing on approvals for those types of products. When you're in the digital space, there's less overhead. So they took all the overhead savings, 100% of it, and put it into the comp plan. And so they can get super aggressive on rewarding people, where the company still makes their profit margins that they're accustomed to on physical products, but with a digital product that allows them to expand globally. 25-year-old publicly traded company. And this will allow them to go global. Right now, they're only in 13 countries. This will allow them to go into over 100 countries. So there's going to be people that they're going to be like the first person in France and the first person in Argentina, right? Like there's going to be this 25-year-old company going for the first time ever into these regions that they've never been in before with a proven stable platform. It's just going to be nuts. It's crazy. The opportunity right now people have. So I'm going to stop there. That's about as much as I think I can overwhelm you with. I gave you a lot of information. But yeah, I hope if you want to make money, I hope you see some value in what we've shared today. And Gary, I'd love to bring you back on if you want to facilitate any Q&A, and we can spend a little more time together here.
Yeah, I can't think of anything you didn't cover. Obviously, the obvious questions are, how much is it a month? When are we going to launch? Can I get my referral? Can I get coded? Can I get a referral link? All those questions. A lot of networkers on here, but a lot of really great people that just don't want to recruit, and that's wonderful for them. So maybe you can just address those questions real quick.
Sure. So the price will probably, for both softwares, live coaching and access to our academies, it'll be about $599 upfront, $599. And then to maintain all those benefits, it'll be $199 per month. That's and I'm 99% sure that's going to be what it's at. Just so you guys know, I mean, anyone who understands finances, that's a crazy, crazy, crazy good deal. I wanted this to be a $3,000 buy-in because people are making thousands of dollars a week. And I'm like, come on, the product has the value there. But Longevity, their most expensive package prior to this was $499. And that was about the max they were willing to budge, was $100, right? So it's $599. And then again, $199, that's the monthly. And hey, a lot of people make more than that per day on using the product. As far as sign up links, we're about 24, 48 hours away. We're going to be able to do a free registration where you could reserve your spot and be one of the first to join inside the networking structure. If you like good positioning and being in early, you'll be able to do that for free within the next 24 or 48 hours. They're working on the final, the code that's connected to the links that are connected to these products, right? The products are done, but now they're just programming in the referral link system to make sure that if you do sign up, that you're connected to the new bonuses that are inside the compensation plan, because it's a whole new pay structure on top of their existing pay structure. So 24, 48 hours out. And right now you could do everything for free. Like we have the morning calls. Tonight we're starting Mastery Compound, where we're going to do basic training on risk management and just better equip people to get a better experience on the call. And then we're going to do psychology training, because a big part of this, when you're clicking the button, the emotions start going up, right? We call that a butt pucker moment, right? Your butt starts to pucker. You're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? People get all nervous and scared. And so we've been through that journey on learning how to manage our emotions and our stress levels and our thoughts during that moment. And so we're going to teach people how to have the right psychology to give you the best chance to be successful, and how to think like a person who can compound their account to the moon. Because all of success and wealth, it really just comes down to this right here, just learning how to think like a successful person. And then you'll do what successful people do, and then you'll become successful. We'll do a training this week as well on the compensation plan, on the enhancements that were made. And that's what it looks like. And so we're coming up on the 4th of July here in America. And it's all about what? Freedom and independence and breaking free from the systems of bondage and oppression, right? It's just a coincidence that we happen to be launching at the exact same time. That's what we're doing here with people's finances. We're shattering the paradigms of limitations that existed on what type of growth people can achieve, and giving you the power back on your money to push a couple buttons, follow our system, and have your own goals for financial freedom and independence.
Super duper. Obviously, we really appreciate you taking the time. I know how busy you are. We chat many times a day since we've been starting this with you. And everybody needs to pay attention to the Telegram channel, all the updates. Sal is in that room as well with us answering questions. I think in terms of for Sal's sake, we'll let him go now. And if you have any other questions we didn't cover, just ask him in the Telegram room. And then every event that we have coming up, like tonight, there's another live session in the morning. All that will be constantly put in the Telegram room. So pay attention to that. And there are probably a few more questions, but let's ask them in there. Sal, I really appreciate you taking the time. You know what I'm doing, where I am at right now, and that's, I'm still working right from vacation. So that's this big of a deal for me and for you, obviously. And we've talked a lot about all of that and the nature of what we're doing and the timing, especially of what everybody needs right now. So we couldn't appreciate you more, buddy. Thank you very much for doing this.
Well, likewise, Gary. Guys, you guys all have a relationship with Mr. Gary Wood. He's a special individual. With what we're doing, like our goal was to share this with the world. We need people like Gary. Seriously, he is an action taker. He's super fast. And he said, in our private chat, I think he's okay with me sharing that, but he said, I know some people that have been hurt and burned and been, thrown through the ringer on a couple things. And now I finally see this is the answer to help them, make up for those previous experiences and then go beyond that. And he's working super fast to include you guys in this experience. And, you guys did a good thing by bringing him into your circle of contacts. These are the types of people you want around you. Someone who thinks of you when they find a good opportunity that's going to bless someone's life and change your whole perspective. That's who you want in your life. People like Gary Wood. So Gary, the pleasure is all mine. We only have a few leaders that even know about this right now in the whole world. You're one of them. So congratulations for finding out about this at this stage. I'm fully dedicated to you, your organization. I see your heart, and if you're ready to help people, I'm ready to help you help people as well as help your people. So let's do this one day at a time. Thank you guys for, taking your valuable time to listen in today to what we built.
Super duper, buddy. I'll put this recording, everybody, on the Telegram channel as soon as we render it and get it going. Thanks again, everybody, for taking the time. Sal, thanks so much, buddy. See you in Vegas.
Okay. All right. See you in Vegas.